Alright, hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. I just took a shower. um, One Piece. This one, One Piece this week, obviously, it was the real exciting part of One Piece, I think, was the ending, give or take. But there really wasn't a lot to this chapter. So I think I'm going to give it the same rating I gave Bleach, 4 out of 5. Because really what this chapter was Rebecca in the Colosseum and Soldier Song. That's pretty much what it was. Aside from the ending, which I wonder about. A lot. When I saw the ending, I was like, ah, shit, no! Show us who it is! Now, some people, when they probably read this chapter and they saw the ending, they wanted to say, oh, it's this person, it's this person, it's this person. Don't see that happening. I don't see it being someone, because in the end of the chapter, we have, everyone gets knocked out of D Block. Everyone gets knocked out. Cavendish, Rebecca, everybody. And the guy, the announcer, saying, oh, someone's standing up. And that's where the chapter ends. We don't know who it is. And I'm like, it can't be anyone who's just going to show up. It's not possible. I just don't see it. It's got to be somebody who has a technique that could do that. So it could be several things. One person in there has haki, Conqueror's King, and he did it. Or it's an ability. I believe it's an ability. I don't think it's Conqueror's King. Conqueror's King would not. No, I just don't see it being that way. Because everyone wants to say, oh, it's Sabo. No, it's not. But yeah, let's get into this summary of it. Pretty much from the beginning we got, and this chapter is called 733, Soldier Son's Desires. And then we got this guy, Siluman. He's basically like this ghost from a country that he dedicated his life to. And we have everyone screaming to decapitate, Rebecca and stuff, and so on and so forth. And, I feel really bad for Rebecca. I mean, it's really fucked up what Doflamingo has done to her with what he did. It's fucked up. It's stupid. Doflamingo should pay for what he did to Rebecca. I seriously mean that. I seriously do. So we got this guy, he's fighting her, and he's basically saying a few things, my crimes from second my homeland, I loved it like no other, like a ghost. And he's saying to her, what about you? It must be painful to live, to even draw a breath in a country that wants you dead. And basically it's Seluman the Beheader. And she's like, I don't care how painful it is. I don't care how much I am hated. All I want to do is live with soldiers on. So, and now only a few other things happen during this time in the chapter. It was a kind of big moment there with Rebecca. I will mention that. Because it was like her announcing it. Proclaiming it. And we have a few other notables. Olympus. And he just like slains this lion tiger thing, and I'm trying to remember what it was. It's a lion, Argo, not Argo, Aegyo, I can't even say it. Olympus takes out that guy, that lion. And we have Cavendish, we have Sorcerer Mummy, Pyromaniac Damask. I will say this, Pyromaniac Damask, he might be the one who knocked them out. A possibility. The only reason I say that is because at the end of the chapter, when everyone's knocked out, you see a lot of smoke and the ring. And Pyromaniac seems like he would use smoke, even though it's pyro. So But that's just my 2 cents on it. And they're just announcing who will take the granddaughter's head, and so on and so forth. Then we go to Usopp, and everybody, and he's wondering where Soldier Son is, and so on and so forth. He has a very important role there, basically telling him to take the head to shoot Doflamingo while his guard is down. It's an important job. And he's taken several of the tribe of Tanta tribe members for the palace. And then we have basically they're like, but it doesn't matter because we have the great Usopp. Yeah, Usopp. And he's like, Usopp wants to run away, man. He's like, look at Usopp, man. Usopp. And he's like, doesn't that retire mean to have a huge execution of this part? And basically, they're telling Usopp that the underground passage where they are and where the lift is, and basically it's a map, and on the left side of the map, all the way to the left, is the factory. In the middle of the section is the tower, the headquarters tower, where Sugars and Trouble are located. And basically they're saying they're going to have to cross one of these bridges. And basically saying crossings are all bridges. So I have to cross one of those bridges to get to her. And that's where the target Sugar is. He basically telling them that. And then all of a sudden this guy hears rustling and goes to there. And he's like, they found us! Ah! And we see the dwarves, they just, fairies, they take their clothes and shit. And these dwarves are pretty strong. Oh man, these dwarves, they fucking knocked these guys on their ass. For real, they took away their clothes and shit, and the fairies got us, they stripped us. And then it said, Tanta combat nail hammer. I was like, whoa! Yo, they just nail these motherfuckers down to the ground. Like, put them in the ground like nails. That was crazy. So they're pretty strong, the dwarves. And after that, they just said, Usopp, you good tactic to pretend you were scared. And basically they steal their clothes and give it to Usopp and Robin and everybody. And he's like, follow me, we'll go scare that girl out of her brains and stuff. And then we get another map. And pretty much the lift that I was talking to you guys about, it's connected to the whole area. So in other words, the lift can get you to the toy house and can get you to the royal palace. So essentially what is happening here is that Soldier Son is just going to try to get on that lift. He's going to steal the lift. He's going to go up. And he's going to, try to shoot Doflamingo. That's essentially the plan. And we have these guys, the soldiers there of Doflamingo and stuff. And they're saying, one of the Straw Hats are fighting someone at the front gate against Pink. So, big bounty and stuff. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, we go. And then Soldier Son says, I'm hijacking that lift. You are going to stay in there. Give the lift its mine. And then that's when we just have this pretty crazy fight sequence with Soldier Son. Yo, Soldier Son is no joke. He might be a toy, but he's pretty freaking fast, man. He was going and just nailing these motherfuckers. And then we have in the middle of that battle scene, we have a thing where he has a mini flashback. We see a mini flashback with Rebecca and him, and seeing that he's basically training her and saying humans are more capable of much more than that. Stop nitpicking everything. And he says, I don't want... And he basically is telling her in the flashback when she was younger, Rebecca, that I am a toy and I will even rust If it rains on me, I know not when I will give out. And basically telling him, he's basically telling her to become strong. Become strong. And and he's basically also forgiving her, trying to saying, "Forgive me, Rebecca, for the useless father I am. I couldn't teach you anything but strength." And then he announced, while he's fighting, he's saying, "A peaceful country in which my child can live on. For that cause, I will gladly give up my life. I will have you return Dressrosa to the Ruku royal family." And he like, "The Ruku family?" And then it basically ends there. And then we have the scene where everyone is knocked out. And I was like, they were like, I was just like, oh shit, someone's standing up, and the victor is. And the chapter. Now, for this page, I will say this. There's a lot of smoke. I don't think it's even smoke. It seemed to be smoke that I'm seeing. And within the smoke, somebody gets up. Now, here's what I'm noticing. I'm going to say it right now. The person that gets up is going to be that pyro guy. Because if you look closely, this is why I say this. If you look closely at everyone's faces, at Cavendish, at Rebecca, and everyone else there on the ground, there are a lot of marks on their faces and body. Almost like burnt marks. So to say that what must have happened was this pyro guy, who we saw at the beginning of the chapter, he must have unleashed it and just knocked everyone out. It was just like a huge, I know it's silly to consider, but that's the only logical explanation. If I'm wrong for next week's chapter, then I'm wrong. But to even suggest that it was Sabo or somebody else is stupid. I can't see it being Sabo. Because he's not in that match. Someone would have noticed it. That's my gut telling me. I believe it to be the pyro mask guy who we saw at the beginning of the chapter. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see next the new year when the chapters come out. If it is who I think it is, or if it's somebody else. But this was, like I said, 4 out of 5. I'm going to go with that because really this chapter, there wasn't much to it. All it was the thing with Soldier San and Rebecca. And a little thing with Usopp and the guys and the dwarves trying to go take care of their mission. So that was pretty much the chapter. I mean, and you really see in this chapter the connection between Soldier San and his daughter Rebecca. That's what I really liked about this chapter. So 4 out of 5 for this one. I'm going to say it again. It's not Sabo. It's not anyone else. It wasn't Conqueror's King Haki. If next week Sabo is the one who gets up, I swear to you people, I'm gonna be like this. Excuse me? Be like, excuse me? Really? I would just shake my head and like, goddamn. But yeah, that's the story, people. Bankai 922. I got a feeling it's the pyro guy. Pyro mask guy. I'm telling you right now, it's him. Because just looking at that last page, I just see them. They all had burn marks on them. They all had burn marks on them and shit. So, yeah. So, that's the way it is. That's what I think's going on. Yeah. Take it or leave it. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Bankai 922. See you guys later. Later today, I think anime series reviews. That was my father looking at thing. Anime series reviews. Nova. Outbreak Company, and Galilee Donna. Okay, I'm trying to knock those down. Until then, Bonk on Return 2, and I will see you guys later.